Thank you. Please have a seat. Welcome, everybody. This is a beautiful day and a very auspicious day. My name is Matt Ennis. I'm the training chief for Eugene Springfield Fire, and very, very happy to see each and every one of you here supporting these men in their quest and their journey and their accomplishments. They've just gone through 14 weeks of very, very intensive training, and they've been trained by some of the best, if not the best, in the business. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of the people that are under my charge in the training section, starting with Captain Wayne Morse, who this was his first. He was a newbie at this for coming in and running these gentlemen through this 14 weeks and did an outstanding job. We have our EMS training coordinator, Nurse Karen Anderson, as always steady, always true to what each of these individuals need. We have our EMS training instructor, Sean Waite and Dan Chase, that assist Karen with a multitude of protocols, procedures, and do an outstanding job. Our other training captain, Mike Barnaby, who is away on training right now, to back Wayne up and assist him with everything that he needed. And then we have our driving instructor, engineer, fire instructor, Greg Degelman, who is truly the glue that keeps it all running, along with our admin aide, Barb Courtney, that is amazing in every sense of the word. So I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of them for their hard work. Today, yeah. Did I forget anybody? And Manny is in the back room. You'll see his work later. He is our video technician that has done an amazing job chronicling some of their activities, which you'll see in a little bit. With that, I'd like to introduce our chief, Chief Joseph Zaludic. He has a few words he'd like to say. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Before I get going, I'd like to recognize a few elected officials in the room. I see Councilor Chris Pryor and Jennifer Ye from Eugene City Council. Thank you very much for joining us today. I would say that this is the most exciting day of my year, or days, when we have Recruit Academy graduations. Nothing's more exciting to me to see a new generation going out in the street and out into the field. And I really like the award ceremony, but this is the best of the best. And I'm so happy to be here to help with this today. Okay, welcome elected officials, executive team members, department members, graduates, and their families. This is an exciting time for Class 23. Congratulations for a job well done, and you're now ready to go out and perform the career you've always dreamed of. Eugene Springfield Fire is a very busy organization. Last year we responded to 37,000 calls for service and transported over 20,000 people to local hospitals. Our crews are the hardest working crews in the state, and I tell my peers whenever I meet with them that these are the hardest working crews in the state of Oregon by far. Fire season is already upon us this year. We already sent some of our command team members to a conflagration fire in Central Oregon. I am always proud of the work that our crews do across the state, and last year our fire crews responded to Santa Rosa and all the way south to Ventura County. Our crews do a magnificent job. They are some of the top trained in the business, and each and every time I get feedback from incident commanders all over the West Coast, they come back as an exceptional rating. You just need to know what a wonderful job our crews do out in the field every single day. This year, exciting news, our ISO, which is our Insurance Service Office rating, went from a 3 to a 2. It's no easy task. It basically evaluates all the functions that we do on a daily basis, and it doesn't mean much just being a number on a piece of paper, but what it means, that because of the hard work of the people and the men and the women in this organization, every residence's fire insurance in Eugene and Springfield dropped by 5% on October 1st and will continue to drop into the future. We're not done trying to manage how efficient we can be, but this was with really no increase in spending. It was just being very efficient and the hard work of these crews. One of the things that tipped the scale for us is our fire prevention works and our community risk reduction program. And we have a program now that allows crews in the field to check thousands of smoke detectors a year, and we change them when somebody doesn't have one in their home, or change them if they're old, or give them one if they don't have one in their home. This was one of the defining factors that really got us from a 3 to a 2. So I'm very proud of the work our crews do in community risk reduction. It's very important to be proactive, and our response crews do a magnificent job. But the work that needs to be done to prevent injuries, and we'll talk about safety a lot in a little bit, is doing it ahead of time with our works in prevention. Very exciting this year as well. We had our first annual Cardiac Survivors Dinner in these rooms right here. It was a very exciting evening. About 4 years ago, our survival rates were about 10 or 12%, which is the national average. Today, for the last 2 years running, our survivor rates for walk out of the hospital, cardiac survivability, are 50% exactly. Seattle, thank you. Well deserved for the crews that do this, very well deserved. I get to work once in a while. I ride along, and we'll go to a cardiac arrest, and we jump in and do CPR. No less than 8, 9, 10 people arrive on scene to do the hard work that it takes to get these survival numbers. And the only department that's better than us today is Seattle Fire at 51%, and they taught us. But we're not done yet. We're not satisfied with being number 2, and we have a goal of improving that over the next few years. So I'm so proud of this organization and the energy in this room. When you have a family full of survivors and their families and just the joy, I'm telling you, that is a great evening. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful evening. A special shout out, there's somebody from the 911 Center here. We cannot do that work and our work without the chain of survival that involves the 911 Center. So I just want to give a shout out to the hardworking men and women of the 911 Center. Class 23, if you look underneath your seat, you'll see you have some professional values that are laminated there. Look on the floor there underneath you. We talked about these on the first day of the academy. I want to review them a little bit just so we're on the same track as you transition out onto the line. The first thing we talk about is exceptional emergency response. And just real quickly, it's exceptional emergency response. We train every shift. We leave it better than we found it, and we make someone's day. Okay? Exceptional emergency response, the first thing we do and the first thing we're going to talk about is compelling our crews to safety. Safety is not an option in this organization. It's a part of the core culture. That's why the first 3 words I left you with on your first day of the academy were safety, safety, and safety. And I'm very proud to reinforce that the kind of safety that I see going on here is not an accident. It's a culture that lasts a career. And I really was proud of I got an opportunity and an invitation to go out and do some firefighting with the crews in the burn building out back. And I was never prouder of this organization when, as I had a crew of firefighters and I put on my gear to go in to attack the fire with them, they looked over my gear and said, "Chief, you got a little skin showing right here. You got to fix your hood, right?" So I got the newest member of the organization coaching the fire chief how to have the proper gear covering so there's not an injury. So to all the crews, thank you for the privilege of letting me fight fire with you that day. And to firefighter Bellamy and friends, thank you so much for keeping an eye on me at that burn that day. I really do appreciate it. Very well done. Turnout time in less than a minute. I see some kids in the room, you mothers, young mothers and dads know what it's like to get up out of the bed in 1 minute and go take care of business. This is what these crews do. The alarm goes off. In 1 minute, they get up, they get dressed, they slide the pole, they get on the apparatus, and they go fight a fire. Not easy to do from a sound sleep, but that's one thing that we're required to do, and we do our best to get out of the station as soon as we can every time the call comes in. Training every shift, you need to learn your job, master your craft, train your successor, and be a lifelong learner. An important thing about continuing to promote this organization, we have great career development programs, but as a culture, we need to be lifelong learners, and you're just starting your journey. Leave it better than you found it. That includes the apparatus, the equipment, the station, and the relationships. And most importantly, our department, that is now your department. Make someone's day basically means do the right thing. The badge you're going to receive indicates that the public trusts you. Continue to maintain, you've earned, and now maintain that trust. Ask yourself, what's the most I can do to help someone that needs my assistance today? Remember, it's a gift to be invited to the homes of our community members to deal with severe or minor emergencies. This is what makes the fire service such a rewarding career. However, these rewards do not come without a cost. For emergency responders, the cost of seeing repeated exposure to trauma, suffering, violence, and sometimes abuse has the ability to take a toll on a responder's health and well-being. Class 23, in the course of your duty, you're going to see things that you can't unsee, hear things you can't unhear, and experience things you can never really unexperience as part of your career. Some first responder stress counselors explain this as a lifelong journey, that as if you have a backpack, and every time you have one of these events, a crisis, personal, professional, that you see in the field, you put a rock in this backpack. Some rocks are 1 pound, some rocks are 10 pounds, some rocks are more. Without a way to actively manage your personal and professional resiliency, those rocks will stay as big backpacks throughout your career that'll weight you down and take the fun out of your lifelong journey. What we're trying to teach you to do now through personal resiliency and the support you're going to get as part of a team is to try to take those rocks and shrink them down into a pebble. Once you get really good at it, you can shrink them to a grain of sand. And it's better to have a grain of sand in your backpack than a 10-pound rock. Trust me, we've all got them. Metaphorically, these events will be with you on your lifelong travel, but you're still going to have the ability to enjoy the hike. Some professional advice today: always take the opportunity to speak to people that have experienced loss in their home, that are ill, that are injured, have lost a family member, and let them know you care about them and their family. Tell them what you're going to do to help them, and tell them what you're going to do about their belongings that are damaged or lost. We now know that the impact of repeated stress can be reduced almost 96% by talking about the event and talking about the event with those around you. Remember that comforting a family member or injured patient is as important to you and your well-being as it is to the family member and the patient's well-being. It is never easy to talk to somebody that has experienced loss. However, that's how you remain connected to your humanity as you're seeing these things that you can't unsee. It is with that in mind that I've added a quote to the back of your laminated Eugene Springfield Fire Professional Values laminated card today. It's a quote from Shakespeare that over 400 years ago captured the feelings and emotions we all experience when losing a loved one. The individuals that pass in your presence or are beyond the ability to be resuscitated are all someone's child and are all loved. The next time you find yourself next to a patient who has died, as you're closing their eyes and doing the things you do to respect their dignity, consider saying something kind, like the line from Hamlet that reads, "Good night, sweet prince or princess, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." The first time you find yourself in this position of caring for a recently deceased patient that is in your care, or you've assessed the signs of life, those loving words may not even be able to come out of your mouth. But say them in your head, say them in your heart, and remember that the value of having them actually come out of your mouth will provide closure to your patient, closure to your crew, and most importantly, closure for you. It's not really the exact words that matter, it's the thought that counts. Feel free to think and say whatever kind thought comes to your mind in the moment. Class 23, remember, people never forget how you made them feel. Congratulations. You have worked hard to prepare yourself to contribute as a member of this organization. You are now well prepared to serve our community for a long and healthy career. I am so thankful for the new generation of firefighter paramedics that is serving our community 24/7, 365 days a year. You are a special breed. You are an exceptional and compassionate human being, each and every one of you, and you represent the best of what this generation has to offer to protect and care for the most vulnerable members of our community. For the family members are all here today, your loved one's health and well-being is strongly influenced by your ability to listen about the things they do to serve their community. They're going to come home after working long and stressful hours with little or no sleep. Sometimes they're required to cover a shift or deployed for a week at a time on a conflagration. Friends and families, I want to publicly acknowledge that as part of our team, we recognize your sacrifices in supporting emergency service in our community. That includes nights, weekends, holidays, birthdays, and yes, sometimes even anniversaries. Class 23, we are so proud of your accomplishments in the Academy, and we're now looking forward to seeing you live your dream of serving our community in a manner that exemplifies our motto of courage, honor, and service. Congratulations, Class 23, and I want to welcome all of you here today to the Eugene Springfield Fire Department Extended Family. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. If we could have Training Captain Wayne Morris come up. He wants to say a few words.
I'll keep it short. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming today. I know it's important to the recruits. It's important to all of us as well. It was not that long ago that I was sitting right in your seat. So I know how excited you are, and we're going to get to those badges here pretty soon. I wanted to speak to you and give you a brief overview of what the recruits have been through and what they have endured in the past 14 weeks. My job as a training captain is kind of half being a drill instructor and half being a life coach. And though I know I tested the recruits every week, I can promise you that they have tested me. The Recruit Academy is a challenging task. The recruits have been scrutinized and evaluated every day for the past 14 weeks. We watched everything. These recruits, we evaluated the way they look, how they talked, how they interacted with each other. We also constantly told them that they needed to move faster and more efficiently. They were always under a stopwatch. They were tested on their skills and knowledge, and we expected near perfection. The fact that they're sitting here today is a testament to the hard work that they've shown in the Academy. To give an idea of the repetition and training they endured, as a class, they threw their air packs 1,371 times. They took 788 hydrants. They threw 965 ladders. They forced 276 doors. And they deployed over 122,000 feet of hose. That's equal to 23.1 miles. And for every length of hose they pulled off, they had to load it back on. That's not to mention the fact that they assisted at least 7 engine companies with completely loading all of their hose after testing back on their engines from bottom to top. That's an additional 24,766 feet of hose. You should be proud of yourselves. You shouldn't have any problem loading hose. Just quickly, Class 23. Remember, there's no 1011. There's only 911. That means you're going to get, when the going gets bad, it's up to you and your crew that are beside you. You are the cavalry. When the call comes, let it be what it may be. You're going to show up and you're going to figure it out. And time is not on your side. And when all else fails, remember General Order number 4. What is it, 23?
Shut up and get to work.
Shut up and get to work. That's it. Chief Zaluda, the recruits are ready for their assignment. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Morris. It wasn't all that long. I think it was a little longer that you were sitting in those seats. Okay, we have our Emmy award-winning video technician has put together a video representation of what they've done for the last 14 weeks. Manny Velasquez, very proud of him, does very good work, and we're going to show you that right now. So,
good afternoon. Good to see all of you here. During the Recruit Academy, it has been my responsibility to prepare the recruits for providing all aspects of patient care once they are out online. I would like to acknowledge our two EMS educators, Dan Chase and Sean Waite, who have also spent countless hours working with Recruit Class 23 on their medical skills. Working with the recruits is an incredibly rewarding and yet challenging responsibility. It is such an honor to be able to work with each of these individuals and assist them with developing a high level of expertise in the provision of patient care. To not only work with them on their medical skills, but to try to motivate and encourage them to strive for an attitude of excellence in everything they do. One of the skills we work on throughout the academy is report writing. Each week during the academy, the recruits were expected to write an electronic report on a patient scenario they were given during the week. At this time, I would like to present an award to one of the recruits. The Golden Pin Award is presented to the recruit who demonstrated the best report writing skills. Michael Bellamy, would you please come up? I've asked the recruits to provide some of their memories of each other during the academy. I would like to share some of these memories with you and also provide some of my thoughts about each of them. Michael Bellamy, AKA Bailout Bellamy, and the Chief. Michael acquired his nickname of Bailout Bellamy when he somehow managed to fall during window bailout and wedge his oxygen bottle and his hand on the ladder, leaving him suspended in midair. Michael will also be remembered as always being ready to rock out at a moment's notice. Whether it's AC/DC, Queen, or Bon Jovi, he's ready to let it out and supplement with an excellent air guitar. I would like to say to you, Michael, please remember that a small act of kindness can put a colossal burst of sunshine into a patient who is possibly experiencing one of the worst days of their life. I have no doubt that you will be someone who provides clinical expertise as well as kindness to the patients we serve. Good job. Nick Bruckner. Does anyone have a question? Yep, Bruckner does. Always has a question. His positivity and good attitude is second to none. No matter the situation, he will find the diamond in the rough. His willingness and enthusiasm to do literally anything to help the team. You need him to fill a bottle, he will do it with a smile on his face and every ounce of hustle he has to offer. Nick, I would like you to remember we are all faced with a series of great opportunities disguised as impossible situations. I know you will make opportunities out of difficult situations and be successful. Congratulations. Jeremiah Friends, forever being a bee shifter. He is always eating on and off the drill field. His pocket sausages, where he would literally bring cooked hot dogs in a Ziploc bag in his turnouts and eat them on the drill field. He never stopped smiling or talking, which sometimes earned us push-ups and plank time, but it was worth it. Even during the roughest days and hardest workouts, he was there to give an extra, come on, and help push you across the finish line. Jeremiah, please consider the following words. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you must develop these skills in little matters. When providing patient care, remember excellence is achieved through the small things we do for our patients, like being there for their family when there is a health crisis they are dealing with. Congratulations. Pete Green, AKA Grandpa. His famous quote, "Let's tighten it up, guys." Pete is the most sensitive and kind person in class 23. He's always looking out for others. He's always willing to put others ahead of himself. He is has one of the best overall attitudes of the team and has exceptional ability to see good in everything and everyone. His sense of humor always gets people laughing, and his dad jokes cannot be rivaled. Pete. A true hero is someone who has given their life to something bigger than themselves or something other than themselves. I consider you a hero. Good job. Samuel Hervey, AKA Gadget Guy. He has a tool for everything and has the stories to prove it. To Sam, REI was his second home. If you want to feel good about the quality of your jokes, tell them in front of Sam because he will literally laugh at everything. One of the trailer park boys lived in a camper during the academy with one of the other recruits. Sam, words can never adequately convey the incredible impact of our attitude toward life. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond to it. I am confident you will cultivate an exceptional attitude. Good job. Kyle Jockery, AKA Jock, and one of the trailer park boys. He has taken on the academy with the utmost level of professionalism, and he is exceptionally good at what he does with both fire and EMS. Whether tearing through walls in the rescue house, running the maze, or battling out in the burn building, we always felt secure with Jock backing us up. Whenever we teamed up with him, we knew it was going to be a good day. He works hard and has a good attitude. Kyle, I would say to you, character is a real foundation of all worthwhile success. You have the potential to develop an exemplary character. Good work. Anders Ogawa, AKA the Alaskan Ninja. Although Anders will never admit to being good at anything, just watch him once and you will realize he's a natural. He has the shiniest boots you have ever seen. Anders' tenacity on the drill field and his constant commitment to improving his EMS skills. And one of the smartest people I've ever met. He is genuinely funny, even if he doesn't always realize it. Anders. By the way, I mispronounced his name halfway through the academy, and they finally told me it's Anders. Thanks for not telling me sooner. Anders, remember that your attitude keeps you going or cripples your progress. With a proper attitude, there is no challenge too great for you. You have a tremendous work ethic and attitude. Congratulations. Randy Schilling, the epitome of the big dude. Countless times he could carry a 5-inch hose effortlessly and handle ladders like they were toys. Schilling easily spent more time in the maze than the entire class combined. All the time he spent in there must have given him a lot of confidence, because when I tried to tell him 3 times he was going the wrong way, he was sure he wasn't. Needless to say, he got lost yet again. Always willing to give helpful tips and advice, he was a leader the rest of us could look up to for help. Randy, I would like you to remember the recipe for successful achievement. There are 4 essential ingredients. Choose a career you love. Give it the best there is in you. Seize your opportunities for growth, both from successes and failures, and be a member of the team. Good job. Jackson Stewart, AKA Soup Sandwich and Speed Demon. It was impressive how fast he can run the mile. Jackson always had a level head. No matter what the situation was, he remained calm and just did the job at hand. Jackson, you've worked so hard to achieve your life goals, and I have so much respect for you. You will be successful in whatever challenge you undertake. Good work. Cody Waddington, one of the most generous people ever. He loves to see people happy, always has a positive attitude. If it weren't for Cody, our stress levels would have been through the roof. Cody was the funniest guy any of us had ever met. No matter what, in any situation and at any time, he could make you laugh. For every circumstance, Cody had these characters he would play. By the end, we were all in tears. And Cody will be the first to admit, Captain, I'm just a sweaty guy. Cody, throughout the academy, you have consistently maintained a positive attitude, and you have never let adversity get you down. I'm confident you will be a tremendous inspiration to the crews that you work with and the patients as well. Congratulations. To recruit class 23. Recruits, you are embarking on an incredible career that provides you with the opportunity to serve. Perform your duties with integrity, empathy, and exemplary character. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you and to get to know you. I am so proud of all of you. Congratulations.
Okay, we're going to do our oath of office. Recruits, please stand. Recruits, please deploy.
I state your name.
I, Cody Waddington,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully perform the duties of firefighter,
that I will faithfully perform the duties of firefighter,
that I will strive for the preservation
that I will strive for the preservation
of life, property, and the environment,
of life, property, and the environment,
and act for the good of the community,
and act for the good of the community,
that I will uphold the rules and regulations
that I will uphold the rules and regulations
of this department,
of this department,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of my position.
discharge the duties of my position.
Thank you. Firefighters, please take a seat. If I could get the training staff up, please. So each of these recruits have worked very long and hard hours to get to where they don't have to wear black helmets anymore. And over in that corner is something that they've been working very hard for in the shape of yellow helmets and also the badge that the chief talked about. So if we could please have Mr. Bruckner come forth. And what we usually do is have someone come up to pin on the badge. Harley, welcome. And we told them all to prep their shirts so we don't have any bleeding. Mr. Agawa. Who would you like to have come up? Mr. Jockery, come on up. Bail out Bellamy. Where are my friends? Okay, that almost completes our printed program. We have a little bit of a surprise. Training Captain Morris, could you please come up?
I'm going to do my speech a second time.
No, you're not.
Good afternoon. Okay, about 8 weeks ago, I was in logistics looking for a piece of equipment. And deep underneath some other things, I found a long lost, forgotten piece of fire equipment. It was covered in rust and dirt. This piece of equipment has become a piece of fire service history. It is iconic. Knowing this, I gave Class 23 the opportunity to take this on as a project. They agreed, and we decided to restore the piece and present it to the chief. We'd like it to be displayed at the training center. They contacted the Greenfield Historical Society, and the Society's board gave the recruits instructions on how to clean and restore the piece from top to bottom. The recruits spent 7 weeks working on it on their own time. Deploy Project X. The Browder Safety Life Safety Net. The Life Net was invented in 1887 by Thomas F. Browder. It soon became a main piece of American firefighting equipment and culturally became an icon of the fire service. Recruits post. The Browder Net had a varying level of success. Some victims jumping into the net would miss, fall through, or land on firefighters. Use of the net became less popular with the improvement of ladder truck capability. This piece of equipment was carried on a Eugene truck company as late as the 1980s. The Browder Life Safety Net displayed here is the last known safety net in the Eugene Springfield Fire Inventory. The safety net was found and restored by Eugene Springfield Fire Recruit Class 23 this year. Chief Zaludik, please accept this gift. On behalf of Recruit Class 23, we ask that you display it proudly.
Class 23, thank you so much for your hard work. Captain Morris, for a second there, I thought you were going to ask me to demonstrate, so I'm relieved. This is amazing. It's beautiful. We will display it proudly. Thank you so much for your preservation of our culture and, most importantly, our safety culture. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your efforts today. Thank you so much, Class 23.